Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my good friends Dedeker and Jace teach me, a born and raised atheist, all about the Bible. So, Jason, Dedeker, how y'all doing today? Dedeker, I know you've had a dog wake you up the past few nights.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
it's been a rough week. The dog is going through a weird childhood regression phase. You need to take him to a psychiatrist.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Technically, he is still a child. He's still a puppy. He's only 9 months, soon to be 10 months. But yeah, he's gone through a phase this week of just waking us up very, very early. And so I'm struggling. But in good news, it's we've had a couple freedom days here in Melbourne.
Yes.
So we're finally back to feeling like it's real life. Today, all the retail shops are going to open at 6 o'clock sharp.
Wow.
For some reason.
That's so random. Yeah.
That's very strange. They're like, we're going to have a hot minute being open. Wait, 6 o'clock p.m. or a.m.?
PM. No, p.m.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's really odd. I don't know. If we get into the cyclone of questions about government policy and decisions around the coronavirus, we'll be here all day.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I wonder if it's that they assume COVID keeps like reasonable working hours or something like that.
Perhaps.
Well, so that's ironic because there is something that I've noticed here in Melbourne. I don't know if this is an Australia-wide thing, if this is a cultural Australian thing. If you are Australian and you can have any insight into this, I'd love to know. But I live very close to a shopping area, like a main drag where there's a bunch of little shops. And pretty much all the shops close at like 4 or 5 o'clock.
But not today. They open at 6.
Yeah, I know. It's so odd. My partner did ask about that once of a shopkeeper. Is like, so I don't get it because that's when people are working until. And so no one can really come shop in your store if you close before people are off work. And she said the person in the shop was like, oh, yeah, you're right.
Okay. All right.
So to say, yeah, they open from 6 o'clock. Then I'm just like, well, are the shops going to stay open? Do they know that that's when all the shops
10.
close? It's confusing. But
fascinating.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's really strange.
Going to rush out and go buy a
kayak.
Buy a dog costume.
A jumper.
6 o'clock sharp.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Lovely.
Right, because for those of you listening to this podcast, this is going to come out after Halloween, but we're recording it just a couple days before Halloween. So,
and none of us wore a costume. Wow. Terrible.
No, not for the live show.
Yeah. We'll post something.
Mine's not here yet.
Oh.
Well, in the evangelical church, celebrating Halloween's a little bit frowned upon.
Really? Is it?
Oh,
depends on your
brand of evangelicalism.
Denomination, your church. Yeah.
Well, my church and Christian school would rebrand it as a, quote, harvest festival because they understand we can't be so cruel as to prevent the children from being able to dress up.
Right.
That would be really awful.
And so you can dress up and come to the harvest festival, but it's not Halloween, and you're not allowed to dress as anything really evil, like witches or vampires or ghosts.
Oh. Uh-oh.
That's how we celebrate Halloween in the evangelical church.
Yeah.
What if you dress up in a big boo costume? That's not evil. That's adorable.
That would probably slide because I think...
a video game, maybe.
If I'm thinking back to the 90s, video, I don't know, most of the adults probably wouldn't really get the reference. And
yeah, there you go. So it would be fine.
That'd be a tough one.
Probably
be a
okay.
tough one to convince them.
Yeah.
Wow.
But, it's where you dress up as, I guess nowadays it'd be like the Avengers or, something like the Avenger of Blood. You could do a tie-in to the Bible.
Yeah. I am Jeremy Renner, the Avenger of Blood, and also Black Widow. Hawkeye? That's it. Sorry. Many different amalgamations of two different things together.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Now, funnily enough, there was a year that I did dress up as an angel, but not as an accurate angel, as like a cute angel.
You didn't have eyeballs all over.
Yeah, not the mini eye.
If you really wanted to go with something spooky, you could 100%
It would be great.
lean into being a cherubim, and then the church elders would be like, oh, what is this horror film costume that you're dressed in? And I'll be
and you're like,
read Ezekiel.
Did you read Ezekiel? Yeah. Did you read it?
And then I called him a bad name that I'm not going to say on the show.
There you go.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, we had yet another amazing, very similar sort of vision, or I don't know what you would call it. Would you call it a vision? It felt like a vision to me, but I guess it was actually happening to him, or was it? Was it all in his head?
Yeah, he had another visitation. Let's call it that.
Visitation.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
from God and
And
some
in this
people,
one, there was
things.
a scribe going around marking off all the people who are actually sad about the destruction of
Right.
Israel.
Well, not
And
sad
it was
about the
only a
destruction,
few
but sad
people.
about all the abominable things people
All the abominable
Yes.
things. And then the guy with who was the scribe had to take some fire from the alien, from the cherubim.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They handed him some fire. And that's pretty much all the important points.
Lots of eyeballs.
Didn't he take Ezekiel by the hair?
That was last time.
Oh, okay.
The time before.
Okay.
He may still have him by the hair.
Yeah.
As far as we know.
Yeah.
No. So we picked up last time on the same vision as the time before. Like it was all continuous. But then remember in the last episode, he got dropped off.
Oh, yes.
Where he's like, and then suddenly I woke up and I was here.
Oh.
And I went and talked to these guys about it because Yahweh told me to.
Yes.
So yeah.
Okay.
Just like last time, he ended up somewhere
Blearily
else. So
stumbling out of yet another trip
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the other side of the country.
I really hope he's hydrating. Like that's very important for
I
all
hope
of
so
this.
too.
He was strictly rationed to how much water he's allowed to have.
That's true.
Remember during
Yikes.
this 500 days that he's lying on his side or whatever?
Perhaps
He
that
also had a specific amount of water he could have each day.
I feel like that would amplify the trip. Don't you?
Not hydrating.
Yeah, or amplify it, maybe not in a good way. It would just like make it worse and scarier, perhaps, and he would feel awfuler.
Well, this
Maybe
sounds
that's
like a
part of
worse
it.
and scarier trip to me, thinking about these wheels covered in eyeballs
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
and being grabbed by the hair.
yeah.
Anyhow,
Speaking of hydration, the opposite of that is drinking. So, what are y'all drinking?
so I'm actually not drinking today because.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Well, after a week of not enough sleep, I just know that if I start my morning out with a drink, I'm not going to stay awake through the rest of this podcast. I'll just fall asleep. So instead, it's going to be caffeinated Bible study. I'm having a
Ooh.
nice
Look at
matcha.
I love your adorable cup.
Yeah, in a C3PO mug, like a dork.
Wow.
That's what I'm drinking. What are
Beautiful.
y'all drinking?
Jace?
So I made the same thing I did last time,
Manhattan?
which is this dry Manhattan. So with dry vermouth instead of sweet vermouth. But before we got on this call, Emily was laughing at me because I was mixing my drink and I went to put this
In a
together. And
Tupperware container.
I don't have
No.
a shaker. So I put it in Tupperware with ice and a lid and was just kind of shaking that around. Also, I don't have any pour spouts here or a jigger. So I had my tablespoon measure and was like measuring it. I converted
This is
it to
an ounce,
tablespoons.
maybe. I don't know.
No, I did the conversions. I asked my,
Oh, okay.
What a poor deprived child.
That's what I'm saying. Can we buy this man a freaking
Join the Patreon so we can bring Jace into the 18th century of cocktail making.
I was like, can DBS? I'm sorry. I was horrified. It was not okay. So we need to do something about this. Please. Like, we need to start a fund so that Jace can freaking get his own little set.
The Shaken Jace Fund.
His bar set. Yeah, indeed. All right. Well, I stopped by work today and picked up some ingredients. This is called a rose quartz. I may have done it on the show before, but it's supposed to have like a really beautiful gradient, which you can see not as well as I would like in the camera. But it basically is kind of light down at the bottom, light pink, and then it goes up to this hibiscus on the top here, which is the sort of darker pink. And it has rose water in it, hibiscus, also lemon juice and vodka and agave. It's like all variations on the same freaking thing. It's just a lot. I mean, not all of them, but this one.
You didn't include any aquafaba this time. That's another classic Emily drink ingredient.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I didn't. I feel like I need to branch out. The thing is, drinks are, you like what you like, and there's only so many things that you're going to use, probably.
But one of these days, you could make the mega Emily cocktail, which is a billion fruits, a billion fresh metalled fruits that you just happen to have lying around, some butterfly pea, some aquafaba.
Yeah, I have all those things. I just didn't choose to utilize them.
Somehow it'll create a gradient.
Amazing.
And
Something that you infused yourself.
yes, definitely. Yeah. And that'll be the Emily, and everyone will love it.
Yeah, okay. Well, people keep saying to go get absinthe, so I need to try to procure some of that in order to make that into a cocktail. I haven't had that in a while. It's fun. Is it kind of licorice tasting? Am I remember that correctly?
Yeah, like an anise tasting. Yeah.
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 Yeah, exactly.
Right, folks.
Alrighty.
Okay.
So this is going to be kind of a showy episode, which is fine. It's fun because we're doing like kind of short chapters today, but that's cool. We're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So today we're continuing on with Ezekiel. We'll see what kinds of fun things he has in store for us today with Ezekiel 13 through 15. And then we're going to be reading Psalms 65 and 66. As we get started, we'd like to remind everyone to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
You can drink along with us, or you can listen while you're in the car.
But please do not do both at the same time.
Oh, and with that, Ezekiel 13. The word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, prophecy against the prophets of Israel who prophesy. And prophecy against the prophets of Israel who prophesy.
Israel who prophesy. Okay.
Yep. And say you to those who prophesy out of their own heart, hear you the word of Yahweh. Thus says the Lord Yahweh, woe to the foolish prophets who follow their own spirit and have seen nothing. Israel, your prophets have been like foxes in the waste places.
Whoa, Foxes in the Waste Places, name of my new Christian band. Love
That's
it.
actually really good.
Yeah. What is it? Okay, before you read on, what does a fox do in a waste place? Like root around and eat trash?
That's what I'm assuming, right?
Or like maybe eat rats that are eating
Are they
trash?
trash babies? What do foxes eat? Are they scavengers?
Don't they eat like eggs? They're always stealing eggs, those foxy foxes.
What?
Pretty sure they're omnivores.
Yeah. Wasn't there some cartoon where a fox was eating eggs? I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
What does the fox eat? What does the fox say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we all know what the fox says.
Yes.
But we don't know what the fox eats.
Yeah. I think they're kind of
No,
like
I don't
bears.
know.
They just kind of eat whatever they can find.
They're so
Okay.
cute.
Yeah.
They look like
Okay.
kind of rodent cats with bushy tails, like a Shiba.
Yeah. Like a house fox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a
House
fox.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like
yeah.
other translations are saying jackals among ruins. or-
Boring. I liked foxes.
yeah. Foxes in the waste places. What
Mhm.
was it? The waste places.
In the waste
Yes.
places,
Okay.
yeah.
Foxes in the waste
wait.
places.
So is he talking about like Isaiah and Jeremiah and stuff, or what is he talking about here? Who is he speaking of?
Is he smack talking the bad prophets, the foolish prophets?
Yeah, of course. That's classic.
Maybe he's saying the foolish prophets are predatory.
Okay.
I see.
You're all
Okay.
garbage, and these foxes are coming after you.
Huh.
Oh, because you're garbage.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's basically just saying go and prophecy against, because he says the prophets, he says, woe to the foolish prophets who follow their own spirit and have seen nothing.
Yeah.
So, like the people who haven't had as wild of visions as you have, Ezekiel.
That's every
Prophesy
single
against-
human.
Yeah.
Okay. At this point, he's got the good stuff to see these visions. Okay.
So, this is still what he's saying to the fox prophets. You have not gone up into the gaps, neither built up the wall for the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of Yahweh. They have seen falsehood and lying divination, who say, Yahweh says, semicolon, but Yahweh has not sent them, colon, and they have made men to hope that the word would be confirmed.
Yeah, again. So just false.
That was really...
I'm gonna paraphrase what the Rock is saying here.
Please, thank you.
Mhm.
What is the rock cooking?
He's saying, yeah, all these false prophets running around being like, well, Yahweh says mana 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 mana, and Yahweh says mana 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 mana, but they're lying and it's not true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah. Also, they didn't patch up the wall and won't stand in battle on the day of Yahweh.
Also that.
part was a little confusing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, they're bad contractors.
Yes.
Okay.
Haven't you seen a false vision And haven't you spoken a lying divination in that you say, Yahweh says, but I have not spoken? Good.
So,
Therefore,
okay, Yahweh has not said anything, even though you're saying that Yahweh has said something.
yeah,
Okay.
it's confusing because we have a lack of quotes in this translation.
Yeah, it's like, who is speaking? God is speaking.
Through Ezekiel to these other prophets.
Okay. He's not just saying it
But
to
we kinda-
Ezekiel.
Through Ezekiel, who conveniently is questioning the legitimacy of his prophet competition.
It's incredibly convenient,
Yes.
but,
Mhm.
whatever makes him happy. Okay.
Therefore, thus says the Lord Yahweh, because you have spoken falsehood and seen lies, therefore, behold, I am against you, says the Lord Yahweh. My hand shall be against the prophets who see false visions and who divine lies. They shall not be in the council of my people, neither shall they be written in the writing of the house of Israel, neither shall they enter into the land of Israel. And you shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh.
Okay. Good. Okay. No.
It'd be intense if Ezekiel was saying that, just like with, have y'all seen Dune? Like with the voice?
Oh, okay. Yeah. The like psychic mind power voice.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because they have seduced my people, saying peace, and there is no peace. And when one builds up a wall, behold, they daub it with whitewash.
Oh,
Huh?
daub it.
Dab it? Daub it?
I think you
D-A-U-B?
Do you daub on whitewash or
kinda-
do you dab on whitewash? When I think of dabbing on whitewash,
Uh-huh.
that feels more like applying a very small amount of
I
whitewash.
see. And daubing is more...
Daub, I think, is kind of like a splattering it on.
Okay.
Really, Dedeker? Really?
Yes, really.
Well,
Cool.
this is not the last we're going to see of this word
Oh,
in
dear.
this chapter.
Okay.
So when one builds up a wall, behold, they daub it with whitewash. Tell those who daub it with whitewash that it shall fall. There shall be an overflowing shower.
What?
Plumbing problems abound. And you, great hailstones, shall fall, and a stormy wind shall tear it. Behold, when the wall is fallen, shall it not be said to you, where is the daubing with which you have daubed it?
What? Okay.
Okay, I'm
Cool.
losing the metaphor a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening,
think-
but whatever.
Okay, you erect the wall, you put whitewash on it, there's going to be a storm, it's going to fall down, and then someone's going to ask you, where did the
Where did the daubing
go?
go? Not where did the wall go?
Can I take a try? I think I've got it.
Yes.
I think he's saying,
What's his butt say?
you're prophesying peace, but actually it's going to be war. And there's this wall, and instead of like patching it and reinforcing it, you're just painting it. And so when it's smashed down, I'm going to be like, where's all that paint you did? What's the good? It's smashed on the ground.
That makes
Pretty
sense.
sure that's what we're saying.
One time, a maintenance person came into my building to deal with some mold that was on the bathroom ceiling, and they literally just painted over it.
Painted over it. Yep.
What?
Yes.
What?
And it was like fixed.
Yep. That's LA apartments for you.
This was in Singapore, but same thing applies.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess apartments anywhere, really. Gosh. Oh, boy.
Yuck.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm looking at all the
All the daubs.
Which
Were you at
daub?
12? 12.
Which verb? Can I ask which verb is in the message? What does Eugene?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, what does Eugene have to say about all this?
About all the daubing?
I'm willing to bet that Jace's interpretation is pretty accurate to what Eugene is going to say. Something about just painting over.
Yeah.
Right.
wall.
Okay. Let's see here. They've said, no problem. Everything's just fine. When things are not at all fine. When people build a wall, they're right behind them slapping on whitewash. Tell those who are slapping on the whitewash.
Slapping.
Slapping.
Slapping it on.
When a torrent of rain comes and the hailstones crash down and the hurricane sweeps in and the wall collapses, what's the good of the whitewash that you slapped on so liberally, making it look so good?
Ah.
I guess there's no good.
Oh, both daubing and slapping. I'm really into these action verbs today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Daub and Slap. Are you at 13?
Yeah, I think so.
so.
That's going to be the next dance craze, the daub and slap.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Other
Just like,
translations are boring.
Yeah.
NIV just says cover with whitewash.
Nah.
I'm like, that's not
who
fun.
cares?
No.
Yeah.
But King James says daubing. So I guess that's where we got this verb from.
Okay,
Great.
fine.
Okay. So where is the daubing with which you have daubed it? Therefore, thus says the Lord Yahweh, I will even tear it with a stormy wind in my wrath, and there shall be an overflowing shower. Wait, did I say this already?
Maybe,
I think it's just repeating itself.
You didn't.
I didn't read this.
It was in 11, and now it's
Yeah.
back in 13,
Okay,
so we can take a drink.
Good. Drink for
Yes, drink for repetition. Just keep drinking until I stop repeating myself. I will even tear it with a stormy wind in my wrath, and there shall be an overflowing shower in my anger, and great hailstones in wrath to consume it. So will I break down the wall that you have daubed with whitewash, and bring it down to the ground, so that the foundation of it shall be uncovered. And it shall fall, and you shall be consumed in the midst of it, and you shall know that I am Yahweh.
Can I just bring up that so much of this book that we've read, this entire book, has been Yahweh talking about breaking things and destroying things, and then maybe bringing it back, but then destroying it again. Like, what's up with that? I don't know. Is that it just is really driving that point home over and over again?
That Yahweh's more of a destroyer.
It's fascinating to me.
Than a creator, perhaps.
Is he? Yeah, that's an interesting interpretation. But I've heard people say that in chapter Next Generation, he's like
the Bible
less,
TNG, right? Okay.
Yeah. Captain Picard is less of a destroyer and more of let's let our boy, who is the second in command? I don't know, that other guy that had the beard and he was pretty attractive.
Riker?
Riker.
Yeah, Riker. Yeah. So is Riker, thank you, everyone. Thank you. Was Riker Jesus? I don't know.
We've gone so far off the rails now, and I love it. I love where your brain has gone,
I think he was.
Emily.
So.
The conclusion I'm taking from this is just I'm going to put Patrick Stewart on our list of potential people to cast.
That's important.
Got to add another old white man,
obviously,
to the list.
Well,
so,
I know there are so many.
We'll percolate on that.
He's lovely.
But let's get back to this daubing.
Okay.
Thus will I accomplish my wrath on the wall, and those who have daubed it with whitewash, and I will tell you, the wall is no more, neither those who daubed it.
So those people are dead too?
The daubers are dead.
So, yeah.
Ding dong.
The daubers are dead.
Ding dong. The daub is dead. Okay.
To wit, the prophets of Israel who prophesy concerning Jerusalem and who see visions of peace for her, and there is no peace, says the Lord Yahweh. You, son of man, set your face against the daughters of your people who prophesy out of their own heart and prophesy you against them, and say, thus says the Lord Yahweh, Okay, so that was the prophecy against the daubers. This is now against the women, I guess.
Oh, great.
Woe to the women who sew pillows on all elbows.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
Huh? I would never do that.
I mean, to be fair, that is a valid complaint.
No, it's not.
What the hell are you doing?
It's not valid in any...
What a niche. He's really, really going specific. Woe to the women who sew pillows on all elbows. Like sew them into your sleeve so that you have a nice little cushion on your elbow when you're resting your chin in your hands.
No.
Or was this the fashion of shoulder pads in the 90s? It was elbow pads.
Just giant freaking blazers with giant elbow pads.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just as ridiculous as the shoulder pads thing, right? It's ridiculous as much of fashion.
Okay, maybe a little less, but it's pretty, that just makes you more angular, but this doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
What does Eugene have to say?
Yeah. What's Eugene got to say? Got to do with it? Anyway. Let's see. Doom to the women who sew magic bracelets.
Oh, that's very different.
That's a different implication, indeed.
Yep. Let's see.
Bracelets.
The NIV says, woe to the women who sew magic charms on all their wrists. And
sew them? I don't know if they're using the proper term. Just put it on?
Is it kind of like in the Green Knight where she sewed the magic charms into the hems of his belt and stuff?
That's a different thing than the skin. It puts the lotion on the skin.
Maybe they crocheted. Maybe it was crocheting some magic friendship bracelets.
Now here's an interesting one that supports my fashion theory. So this comes from the Complete Jewish Bible. And they say, woe to the women who sew magic pads for all arm
Okay,
joints.
this is even more. All arm joints. So wrist,
How many joints are there in one's arm?
wrist, elbows, knees and toes. Knees and toes.
Those are not in your arms.
No, not your knee, not your toes, Dedeker.
Okay, all arm joints. So wrist, elbows, shoulders,
Yeah.
everything with a pad. Everything.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
Maybe he was actually mad.
Maybe these
at
people were
skateboarders.
skateboarding.
Yeah,
Thank you,
exactly.
Jace.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sports.
Everyone was skateboarding, or maybe even
Mhm.
figure skating. Pair skating could use
Okay.
a couple elbow pads.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm going to write this
Yeah.
down.
If you
We
fall-
can do a deeper dive in the bonus.
this is weird.
Yeah, that'll be good. Okay.
Really weird. All right, keep going.
So that's not the only thing they're doing.
Oh God, of course not.
So we're saying, woe to these. Okay, let me find my place again.
It was elbow pillows.
18
18, yes.
and 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
Woe to the women who sew pillows on all elbows and make kerchiefs for the head of persons of every stature to hunt souls.
Okay, geez. Okay.
Are they playing Dark
Just-
Souls?
They're playing Dark Souls.
Souls
Hold on.
slash
100%.
Demon
Hold on, he had
Souls,
to clarify.
and it's fine.
Persons of every stature.
Mm-hmm.
They make kerchiefs for everyone, short, tall, so that they can hunt souls.
Yeah,
There's some Halloween shit
Okay.
going on.
it really is.
Yeah, I mean, this is a perfect episode, really.
Yeah. So Eugene
Okay.
says magic bracelets and head scarves to suit every taste, devices to trap souls.
What is this device? On your head?
These head scarves. Yeah, soul trapping scarves. I guess
What?
maybe the elbow pads are also soul trapping.
You just
think
stuff the
that's-
soul into a little like.
Once again, Yahweh is doing a really terrible job of trying to diss on other gods and religions because everything he mentioned sounds
Yeah.
way cooler than what he's got going on. The sex and religion shrines, some soul trapping scarves. I'm really into it.
Hunt souls. Yeah, so the NIV says to make veils of various lengths for their heads in order to ensnare people.
Now that's slightly different.
Weird.
That's slightly different. That could be
Yeah.
seducing people. That could be literally, I'm going to take it off my head and like lasso you like a calf.
right.
Jeez.
Anything. Okay,
Yeah,
so they're playing Dark Souls and Tony Hawk.
definitely at the same time
Yes.
on two different computer systems.
Mhm,
Okay, okay.
Will you hunt the souls of my people and save souls alive for yourselves? You have profaned me among my people for handfuls of barley and for pieces of bread, to kill the souls who should not die, and to save the souls alive who should not live, by your lying to my people who listen to lies. Therefore, thus says the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against your pillows.
I'm glad to hear it, Yahweh.
This is-
glad to
oh.
hear it. Okay.
These-
I hate your pillows.
These
I
may be
hate
some of the
pillows.
best Bible verses to use out of context that I've ever encountered.
I hate your
Yeah.
pillows. Ezekiel 13/19.
Yeah. Okay, wow. I am against your pillows, with which you there hunt the souls to make them fly, and I will tear them from your arms, and I will let the souls go, even the souls you hunt to make them fly.
What is happening?
Wow.
What is happening?
Wow.
So, okay, this is adding a level of legitimacy where he's like, no, I believe you are capturing souls. That is correct. And I'm going to
But
rectify
they are giving
that.
you flight,
and,
but I hate it.
and I'm against it. I'm against this pillow-based method of capturing souls
I don't know. Maybe that was the best that they had at that point to capture souls. Like
versus what? Like a Polaroid camera?
Yeah.
this is weird. Or like, I don't know, a net or something.
bottle,
I'm like,
yeah.
how does Link do it? He has a bottle and he puts the Poe in the bottle and then he gets to sell it to the Poe.
Right.
Person.
Okay. Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, we're still in this first chapter.
So he
Jesus.
does-
It's better than this.
I know.
That's
Gosh.
what I'm saying. Okay, I know. We gotta choose. A short episode, my ass.
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't just hate pillows, though, because the next verse goes on. Your kerchiefs also will I tear, and deliver my people out of your hand, and they shall be no more in your hand to be hunted, and you shall know that I am Yahweh.
Why is this only women doing this, by the way?
Oh, women
I
are
don't know.
witchy.
Well, I guess
because women are the worst.
yeah, it's like all the men are off whitewashing walls and the women are making elbow pillows.
Yes,
So,
the proper division of labor, I would say.
Obviously.
Right.
Yeah, clearly.
Uh-huh. Because with lies you have grieved the heart of the righteous, whom I have not made sad, and strengthened the hands of the wicked, that he should not return from his wicked way and be saved alive. Therefore, you shall no more see false visions, nor practice divination. I will deliver my people out of your hand, and you shall know that I am Yahweh. That's the end of the chapter.
Wow.
Finally.
Wow. Every time I think we're going to hit a
As
lull
always, I need a breath. Yeah,
in Ezekiel,
I need a moment.
it just keeps coming.
It just keeps
That was
coming.
one chapter.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I think we need a moment to recompose ourselves.
So
After
we're going
that
to do the
chapter.
rest of the episode after this? Okay. Okay, we're going to do that.
I think we need a moment.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to take a quick break to talk about how you can support this show, help keep this. Imagine if this wasn't in your life. And imagine how many other people out there this is not in their life yet, that they don't yet know that this is
good
in
word.
the Bible. They don't know the good word of Ezekiel and elbow pillows. What if they're making elbow pillows for themselves and they don't know how much
in the
Yahweh
Bible?
hates that? Because they would you'd never think, right? You're like, okay, I've heard the thing about, mixing fabrics, but elbow pillows, that's fine. That's probably fine. There's nothing, can't be anything about that in the Bible, but they wouldn't know. So bring your friends, tell them all about the show, have them check out Ezekiel. And if you're able to and willing, we would love it if you could support us financially on Patreon at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. As a thank you for that, we have early releases of episodes, Emily's drink recipes, and give you a personal toast on the show because we love you.
Love you. And we are back in action with Ezekiel. I was about to say Isaiah. This is not Isaiah. Ezekiel 14. Here we go. Then came certain of the elders of Israel to me and sat before me. Oh, yeah. Certain of the elders. So like
So not all the elders.
Some of them.
Just a few.
couple
Mhm.
members.
Couple of 'em.
Okay. The word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, these men have taken their idols into their heart and put the stumbling block of their iniquity before their face. Should I be inquired of at all by them? The stumbling block of their iniquity. What do you think that is?
Yeah. I think just that they're bad. They're bad. They're bad.
Stumbling. They're bad
They're
boys?
worshiping
Yeah.
idols. Bad
Okay.
boys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Therefore, speak to them and tell them, Thus says the Lord Yahweh. Every man of the house of Israel who takes his idols into his heart and puts the stumbling block of his iniquity before his face and comes to the prophet, I, Yahweh, will answer him therein according to the multitude of his idols, that I may take the house of Israel into their own heart, because they are all estranged from me through their idols. Therefore, tell the house of Israel, Thus says the Lord Yahweh, Return you and turn yourself from your idols, and turn away your faces from all your abominations. For everyone of the house of Israel or of the strangers who sojourn in Israel, who separates himself from me and takes his idols into his heart and puts the stumbling block of his iniquity before his face and comes to the prophet to inquire for himself of me, I, Yahweh, will answer him by myself. And I will set my face against that man, and I will make him an astonishment for a sign and a proverb, and I will cut him off from the midst of my people, and you shall know that I am Yahweh. He's super mad, guys. He's super mad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this feels
so mad.
comfortable, familiar.
Yeah.
Though,
Yeah.
harping on
Yeah.
the whole idols thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, when your old grandpa tells you the same story all the time, but you still kind of love it anyway. It's like that, but with The Rock telling us this story about how much he
Okay.
hates idols.
Oh, The Rock. There he goes again.
Yeah.
Indeed. If the prophet be deceived and speak a word, I, Yahweh, have deceived that prophet. And I will stretch out my hand on him, and I will destroy him from the midst of my people of Israel. Whoa.
Okay, this is interesting because the vibe I get from looking at the message is very different.
Oh,
Really?
really?
Pray tell.
So he says, if a prophet is deceived and tells these idolaters the lies they want to hear, I, God, get blamed for those lies.
Huh.
Whereas the way you read it sounds like he was saying, no, I did do that.
No, I did it. I
Yeah.
made them lie.
Yeah.
That is
Huh.
interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. They shall bear their iniquity. The iniquity of the prophet shall be even as the iniquity of him who seeks to him, that the house of Israel may go no more astray from me, neither defile themselves any more with all their transgressions, but that they may be my people, and I may be their God, says Lord Yahweh. The word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, when a land sins against me by committing a trespass, and I stretch out my hand on it and break the staff of the bread of it, and send famine on it and cut off from it man and animal, though these three men, Noah, Daniel, and Job, were in it.
Job, first of all,
Job.
Emily.
Job?
Crap. Job.
Emily.
Job.
Come on.
That guy.
We only read that book for several months.
You're right, but it was like, I don't know, 3 years ago.
It was a while ago.
Job, Noah, Daniel, and Job. Have we talked about Daniel yet?
We've not gotten officially to the story of Daniel
Or Job.
in our reading of this book.
Well, I mean, in the order of the books in the Bible, too, I don't think the readers would have been to Job. And also, I thought, yeah, I guess that he was a known character. He's just never been referenced before.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is a first.
Yeah.
that's interesting.
I didn't even realize Job was at all referenced outside of his own book.
Yeah.
And is that like prophesying into the future? This like guy and this other dude? Or what?
No,
think
because
so.
Job is much older. Job is a
Yeah.
much older story chronologically
Right.
than what's taking place right now.
Job is?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
He's just
you're
kind of
right.
name dropping right now.
Huh.
Yeah.
Same with
so-
Noah. Noah was a much older story.
Yeah, of course. Noah. But Daniel?
So Eugene here adds to this list, and he says, Noah, Daniel, and Job, the big three. He gives them a title.
Well, what does that mean, though?
No, but they are not the ones I would count as call the big three.
Right?
in
Big
this
three of
book.
what?
I thought for sure it was like Moses, Abraham, and Jacob
Yeah.
is who I would call the big three.
Yeah.
That's who I would have thought was or
Uh-huh.
maybe you could also call the big three like Moses, David,
Yeah, David,
and
of course.
Jacob, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Big sexy.
There's lots of threes these were not the three I would have picked.
No, that's...
This is like the B team.
Yeah, well, at least two of them are. I don't know. Everyone like loves Job, but whatever. Yeah, he was kind of annoying. Though these three men, Noah, Daniel, and Job, were in it, they should deliver but their own souls by their righteousness, says the Lord Yahweh. If I cause evil animals to pass through the land and they ravage it, and it be made desolate, so that no man may pass through because of the animals. Though these three men were in it, as I live, says the Lord Yahweh, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters. They only should be delivered, but the land should be desolate.
I need some help.
Yeah,
I need some help
what?
with this.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
I mean, I don't have a lot of help for you is the thing.
Really?
Here's what Eugene's got. So he says, they sin against me by living faithlessly, and I reach out and destroy its food supply by bringing on a famine, wiping out humans and animals alike. Even if Noah, Daniel, and Job, the big three, were alive at the time, it wouldn't do the population any good. Their righteousness would only save their own lives.
Okay.
I think that's what he's getting at, saying like not even their descendants or whatever, like even these guys weren't good enough to make excuses for you.
For other people.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Or if I make wild animals go through the country so that everyone has to leave and the country becomes wilderness and no one dares enter it anymore because of the wild animals. Even if these three men were living there, as sure as I am the living God, neither their sons nor daughters would be rescued, but only those three. And the country would revert to wilderness.
Jeez. It's not very nice.
I think that makes
All
sense
right.
with what you read. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's-
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the land shall be desolate. Or if I bring a sword on that land and say, sword, go through the land, so that I cut
Okay.
off.
This is our first
Amazing.
fully anthropomorphized sword. Usually the
Yeah.
sword is attached to somebody.
That's true.
Mm.
Now it's just gonna like wave through the air and murder
Mhm.
people.
A flying sword. Yeah.
Yep.
So that I cut off from it man and animal. Though these three men were in it, as I live, says the Yord Yahweh.
Yord way.
Yord Yahweh. Okay. Lord Yahweh. They should deliver neither sons nor daughters, but they only should be delivered themselves.
Okay.
Or if I send a pestilence into the land and pour out my wrath on it in blood and cut off from it man and animal, though Noah, Daniel, and Job were in it, as I live, says the Lord. Sorry. Though Noah, Daniel, and Job were in it, as I live, says the Lord Yahweh, they should deliver neither son nor daughter. They should but deliver their own souls by their righteousness. For thus says the Lord Yahweh, how much more when I send my 4 sore judgments on Jerusalem, the sword and the famine and the evil animals and the pestilence to cut off from it man and animal.
This is a slightly different set of horsemen of the apocalypse. I don't remember the evil animals, horsemen.
Oh, is this a horseman reference? I thought that didn't happen until my favorite book, Revelation.
I don't think it actually is. It is just convenient, though, that it's 4 bad things.
I mean, John Michael is talking about this a little bit in the chat, but just that Ezekiel was drawn on a lot for Revelation. So it's more like he originated some of these ideas.
Cool.
And like quotations from him and imagery from him is then reused. So it's the other way around. He's not referencing that. But as Dedeker pointed out, it's interesting that the 4 horsemen that we all know and love, wild animals is not ever one of them. So this is a fun alternate reality.
But it's literally 4 horsemen, so shouldn't animals be a part of it? I don't know.
It's one of the horsemen is a horse riding a horse.
That's good.
Just a little horse jogging.
It's a wild horse riding a domesticated horse. I think that's what we're going for here.
Yeah, Will Arnett is definitely making multiple appearances. He's all 4 horses, as well as the horseman.
Yes.
As well as BoJack Horseman riding a domesticated horse or non-domesticated? I don't know. Anyways. Yet, behold, therein shall be left a remnant that shall be carried forth, both sons and daughters, behold. They shall come forth to you, and you shall see their way and their doings, and you shall be comforted concerning the evil that I have brought on Jerusalem, even concerning all that I have brought on it. They shall comfort you when you see their way and their doings, and you shall know that I have not done without cause all that I have done in it, says the Lord Yahweh. So like I did it for good reasons or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
He always does it for good reasons in his brain.
Okay,
our last chapter.
Right. Oh, so
yeah.
I have a fun little insight here. I just saw as I got to the bottom of the page in the footnotes for the NIV, where it says Daniel, it says or Daniel.
Who?
So Daniel without the I, a man of renown in ancient literature.
Oh, so it could have been a different.
Me? We need to learn more about this Daniel.
So that would explain the time paradox.
Oh, about
yeah.
Danielle?
Let's look into Danielle.
About Danielle.
Danielle.
Yeah.
Wow.
Coco Danielle.
What?
Okay. Our last one. It's a short one. Short and hopefully sweet. Chapter 15. The word of Yahweh came to me saying, Son of man, what is the vine tree more than any tree? The vine branch, which is among the trees of the forest? Question mark.
Can I?
Shall wood be taken of it to make any work? Or will men take a pin of it to hang any vessel thereon?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Let me help you out with Eugene here.
Okay.
Eugene says, Son of man, how would you compare the wood of a vine with the branches of any tree you'd find in the forest? Is vine wood ever used to make anything? Is it used to make pegs to hang things from?
I don't know.
All right, that's a fair observation.
Okay, yeah.
All right, okay. Behold, it is cast into the fire for fuel. The fire has devoured both the ends of it, and the midst of it is burned. Is it profitable for any work? Behold, when it was whole, it was meat for no work. How much less when the fire has devoured it, and it is burned, shall it yet be meat for any work? So, okay, garbage grapes come from garbage vines.
Oh, yeah.
And vines are just garbage. Therefore, thus says the Lord Yahweh, as the vine tree among the trees of the forest, which I have given to the fire for fuel, so will I give the inhabitants of Jerusalem. I will set my face against them. They shall go forth from the fire, but the fire shall devour them. And you shall know that I am Yahweh when I set my face against them. I will make the land desolate because they have committed a trespass, says the Lord Yahweh. That's the end of that one.
Okay. It's a fun little button to today's episode.
Cool.
fun little, yeah.
Okay.
Where our first chapter was all about daubing and pillows.
Dabbing.
And then
dabbing.
our second one was all about animals, riding other animals. And then the last one was about
Amazing.
garbage vines. It's nice. It's cute. Little themes for each
cute.
chapter.
Yeah. Well,
And now it's time for Silly Psalms with DBS, the part of the show where DBS comes out and reads some psalms. Psalm 65, for the chief musician, a psalm by David. A song. It's a song. I can't tell you anything else about it.
aren't they all songs? Like, technically?
I don't know. Now everything's brought into question. You had to specify it's a song.
All right, well, I don't know.
Praise waits for you, God, in Zion. Vows shall be performed to you. You who hear prayer, all men will come to you. Sins overwhelmed me, but you atoned for our transgressions. Blessed is the one but whom you choose and cause to come near, that he may live in your courts. We will be filled with the goodness of your house, your holy temple. By awesome deeds of righteousness, you answer us, God of our salvation.
Wow. Amazing.
You who are the hope of all the ends of the earth, and those who are far away on the sea. By your power, you form the mountains, having armed yourself with strength. You still the roaring of the seas, the roaring of their waves, and the turmoil of the nations. They also, who dwell in faraway places, are afraid at your wonders. You call the mornings dawn, and the evenings with songs of joy. You visit the earth and water it.
Oh, that's nice.
You greatly enrich it. Yeah, it's a very different time.
Or you just like wreak havoc.
Yeah, a different time during David's life.
Yeah.
The river of God is full of water. You provide them grain, for so you have ordained it. You drench its furrows, you level its ridges, you soften it with showers, you bless it with a crop. You crown the year with your bounty. Your carts overflow with abundance. The wilderness grasslands overflow. The hills are alive with the sound of music. No, the hills are clothed with gladness. The pastures are covered with flocks. The valleys are also clothed with grain. They shout for joy and also sing.
Oh, wow.
That was a moment in time.
He was having a good day, clearly.
He was. You know what? He was.
Okay.
I was picturing the whole thing in Keanu Reeves' voice, and I had to tone that down for you. I just let it come out a couple times.
Is Keanu Reeves David?
No.
No.
That's Timothy Chalamet.
It was just when he said it was righteous. It just made me think of Bill and Ted.
Yeah, I saw.
All right. Psalm 66. For the chief musician, a song, a psalm.
Wait.
Indeed.
Okay.
Is it the other way around this time?
/ asylum.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
No, the other way around. He switched it up. Yes. Make a joyful shout to God, all the earth. Sing to the glory of his name. Offer glory and praise. Tell God how awesome are your deeds.
Yes.
Through the greatness of your power, your enemies submit themselves to you. All the earth will worship you and will sing to you. They will sing to your name, Selah. Come and see God's deeds. Awesome work on behalf of the children of men. He turned the sea into dry land. They went through the river on foot. Oh, a good callback.
Yeah, that's
nice
fun.
callback. Okay. There, we rejoiced in him. He rules by his might forever. His eyes watch the nations. Don't let the rebellious rise up against him. Selah. Praise our God, you peoples. Make the sound of his praise heard, who preserves our life among the living and doesn't allow our feet to be moved. For you, God, have tested us. You have refined us as silver is refined. You brought us into prison. You laid a burden on our backs. You allowed men to ride over our heads.
Yikes. Okay.
In what context?
We went through fire and through water, but you brought us to the place of abundance. I will come into your temple with burnt offerings. I will pay my vows to you, which my lips promised and my mouth spoke when I was in distress.
Okay.
I'm not just a fair weather friend, Yahweh.
Right. Yeah.
I will offer to you burnt offerings of fat animals. With the offering of rams, I will offer bulls with goats. Selah. Come and hear, all you who fear God. I will declare what he has done for my soul. I cried to him with my mouth. He was extolled with my tongue.
Oh, yes, he
If I
was.
cherished
Quite.
sin in my heart, the Lord wouldn't have listened. But most certainly God has listened. He has heard the voice of my prayer. Blessed be God, who has not turned away my prayer, nor his loving kindness from me. Oh, yes. Thank you, John Michael, in the chat for correcting me. Timothy Chalamet was Jonathan, not David. We cast Sebastian Stan as David.
Good, David.
And then we cast Adam Driver as Saul.
Okay,
Just
that's
a
good.
little refresher of all the important cast of characters from that book.
So there's a lot of sexual tension there, just like all
So,
around.
dripping. Just dripping.
Dripping. Yeah. Well, everyone, we have a toast. Dedeker.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
Do you want to get on that toast?
So, our new patron, David Jonathan, let's give a toast. I have to say, and I'm going to call him out just because he's here. This is a very special patron in my heart. I met David when I was 7 years old in Sunday school. We grew up going to the same church together.
Wow.
And I just have to say that I think really that's where Drunk Bible Study began for me. Was way back then, because this
You were like, one day I'm going to be reading these drunk.
our
Some
seriously, our
randos.
the tradition we now have in the show of reading the message and just laughing at the wackadoodle translations, that started with me and David way back in the day, where we would sit in church and to keep ourselves entertained, we'd open up the message and just crack up, and then our parents would separate us, but we'd still find a way to like meet eyes across the sanctuary
Amazing.
and crack up at things. So this has been a long running tradition, and I'm so happy that he's a patron of the show.
How lovely.
Yes.
Yay. Thanks so much,
Yay.
Wow.
David. How lovely.
Yay, David. Good to see you.
Well, thanks everyone for joining us for Bible study today. If you want even more Drunk Bible Study, including early releases, cocktail recipes, personal toasts on the show, and more, become one of our patrons at patreon.com/Drunk Bible Study. If you enjoy the show, take a moment to subscribe and then write us a nice review on iTunes, letting other people know what you like about it. You can also join fellow listeners in the Drunk Bible Study Fans and Fellowship Facebook group. Find us on Twitter at Drunk Bible Cast, on Instagram at Drunk Bible Study, or send us an email to info@drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Jace Lindgren, Dedeker Winston, and me, Emily Matlack. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from their album Home of the. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.
I made a memory about your dad. He's in a book